Hey, what's up, Dani here, and welcome to my channel and another video. Today I'm back with another tea and books video.
Where are you now? Under the sea, under the sea. Where are you now? Another dream. The monsters running wild inside of me. I'm fading.
So as you know, my tea and books videos are wrap-ups of the things I've been reading lately, so that's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna start with the manga and then go to the comics. The first manga I've read recently is volume 5 of The Girl from the Other Side, and you all know I love this series. I don't want to say too much about this volume because obviously it's volume 5 and you should get into this series without knowing anything. But it's essentially about the inside and the outside. So on the inside world, there's like the humans, and on the outside world are these monsters. And this girl ends up on the outside world. So that's why it says The Girl from the Other Side. And a lot of shit happens from there. Like, everyone's frightened from these monsters. These monsters are cursed. And this little girl gets found on the outside, and they essentially team up and live together, and he watches after her. And yes, you can imagine what's gonna happen like for the rest of this series. So yes, that's basically what this is. I absolutely love it. The art is incredible. It's a very black and white. So the most part it's just black and white contrast with a few gray scales in it. He is drawn in black and the little girl is drawn in white. So that is really interesting. I really like this about this manga. The art is very unique. The manga, the whole manga, the size, everything is unique. And I love it. This is one of my favorite series I am reading. The Girl from the Other Side. Then the next thing I've read is volume 22 and 23 of Haikyuu. You all know what that is about. I mean, either you're reading it or you have heard of it. So there's only two options. These two don't feature the main team. It's about two other teams of were very popular, obviously. I love all the teams, so I don't mind reading about any teams. It's still the qualifying time for the spring tournament, and this actually follows right up the anime. You have 3 seasons of the anime, and they cover the first 21 volumes of the manga. So if you've watched the anime, this is actually where you continue. So there's that. I don't want to say too much because again it's in the middle of the series. It's really hard to do wrap up of manga because you can't really talk about anything because it's in the middle of the series, so you don't want to say anything that spoils. But yes, you get a lot of nekoma in these two, so that is great. I love them all. I love every character in this series, honestly, like every character. And yes, I'm currently reading 24, so there's that. But yeah, Haikyuu 22 and 23. And then the last manga or manga series I've been reading is Volume 2 of Silver Spoon, Volume 3, and Volume 4. Silver Spoon is by the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist, so you will recognize the art in it, possibly. So, but this is a total different series to Fullmetal Alchemist, obviously. I think everybody knows Fullmetal Alchemist. It's basically about this guy who goes on a farming high school. So they're all on this farm doing all these different things you do on a farm, and it's a lot of fun. I love this character. He's very relatable. He has like no clue what he's doing with his life and where he wants to be in the future, while every other character in this series has like all these future plans because they have like a family farm and take that over or any other things, and he just doesn't know. So relatable. But it is so cute, like just the whole farm life and the animals and the characters, and just there's a lot of interesting subjects they cover, like regarding animals and farm life, like when you raise animals and then you essentially kill them to eat them, how you feel about the fact, and because he's basically one who gives names to pigs and other animals, so he's like dealing with the fact that he has to let somebody kill the pigs he named and looked after for so long. And that's a very interesting thing to read about, because I'm kind of the same. Not that I'm not on a farm. I've never been on a farm. I mean, I've been on farms, but I've never lived there, obviously, so I don't really know. But I just couldn't eat any meat of any animal I have raised. Like, I'm very weird. I also don't eat certain meat because of this animal. So I just don't want to know anything, because it would probably put me off at some point. So there's that. But yes, I really love this series. It's very slice of life. It's like Barakamon. If you read Barakamon or Yotsuba, it's like similar to that. Just that they're in a high school on a farm. And it's very interesting characters and how they work together and live together and adapt to the whole farming life, especially him who has not been on a farm. He's like a city boy. It's kind of like Honda-kun from Barakamon, really. It's like a similar feel. But I absolutely love this series and I can't wait to read more. Right, and that's for the manga. Let's go to the 3 comics I've read. So, the first one, if you follow me on my vlogs, if you watch my vlogs every week, you know what I'm reading, or what I have been reading, and what I feel about some of these, like live reactions. I don't always remember everything when I do these wrap-ups, so there's that. But I've read Asterix, the first omnibus. I don't know how well known this is in America, I'm gonna be honest, because this is originally a French comic and it's very, very popular here in Europe. And I know people in the UK know about it, because obviously it has English versions. But I'm not sure about America, I'm gonna be honest. So let me know if you're American and you've heard of this, let me know, because I'm curious. So these cover the first 3 volumes of the single individual volumes you get from those. I like to collect these omnibuses now. I do have some single ones from back in the days, and I have read these when I was a kid. probably read most of them that were out at that time from the library, but I never owned all of them. So I want to have this as my mission, to collect all these omnibuses, so I have the whole collection someday. But yes, I don't even know what to say about this. So this is like kind of historical, like all these stories are set in like earlier times in different areas. So these are ghouls, G-A-U-L, from, now I have to like check all the English words because I grew up with all the German. So you have like a map, so you can like see from back in the days, like in this series, and this is where they live here. So yes, the three main characters are Asterix, Obelix, and Getafix. Now I had to just look at the name, because in the German version they have other names, like not Asterix and Obelix, but the rest they have different names. So I'm not very used to the English names just yet, so I have to look them up most of the time. It has a little bit of a supernatural element, given the fact that he's like a Merlin character. So he does magic stuff, like he makes magic potions, and he gets to drink it, or like when they have to fight, but he mostly gets to drink it, and then that gives him super strength. And Obelix, he fell into the, I forgot the English name, Goldron, or what is it called, that thing where you cook a magic potion. I know I've read Harry Potter, but still, I'm not that, my English vocabulary is not so well in this area. So, but he fell into it when he was a kid, so he has 24/7 super strength, so he doesn't get to drink it no more, and it annoys him because it wants to. So there's that essentially, and they have to like go on adventures because they have to deal with other people like the Romans and other. So theoretically, as it says here, it says 50 BC. So that's where that plays. So it's very old. And every volume has like a different adventure. So Asterix, the goal is the first one, which basically just introduces the whole thing. Asterix and the Golden Sickle is where Getafix has a golden sickle to get his stuff for the potions, and it breaks. So they have to go get a new one, and they go into an adventure because other people don't want them there, so they fight a lot, and you know, like they did. And the other one is Asterix and the Gods. So it looks very old schoolish, like the art, and they changed the font of when they speak different languages, like here. I don't know if you can see it. So that's basically the art of it. It's really hard to explain for me. I don't know, I have a hard time explaining plots of manga and comics. Not that good with this, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the first omnibus, the first 3 volumes. So on the back it says, in this special collector's edition, the first 3 Asterix stories are collected in one fabulous volume. In Asterix the Gaul, we join Asterix, Obelix and co. as they try to defend one small village in Gaul from the mighty legionaries of Rome who surrounds them. Disaster strikes the Gaulish village. In Asterix and the Golden Sickle, as Getafix, the druid, has broken his golden sickle, which means no more magic potion. In Asterix and the Gods, Getafix is kidnapped by the gods, so Asterix and Obelix have the right to the rescue. So that's basically a short summary of the 3 stories, and I absolutely love Asterix. I've been reading it since I'm a little kid, so it's very nostalgic for me as well, and I love it. But yeah, to the Americans or Australia or wherever other than Europe, let me know if you know about this. There's loads of movies and TV shows about this as well, so yes. And the next comic I've read is Ghost Rider. I don't know, it's just Ghost Rider. I think it's essentially volume 3. So you have the all new Ghost Rider. I'm missing volume 2 because I've read this in single issues, but I have to get volume 2 at some point. There's 2, it's a 2-volume series. Then you have Ghost Racers, which goes right after this, and it's all the Ghost Riders there are. And then this is a follow-up, so essentially volume 3 to this. I don't know, but yeah. I love Robbie Reyes. I love this character so much. He's also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they have this Ghost Rider. I like this story. It's about this weird ass monster thing ish that came out of the lab, and they have to fight it. But the thing is, there's loads of guest appearances in this. So technically every issue had a new guest appearance. So you have the Totally Awesome Hulk, which I've never heard of. Like, I'm not into Hulk. I know Bruce Banner, but any other thing than that, no clue. So yeah, you got Totally Awesome Hulk. Then you have Laura Kinney as the all new Wolverine. You have Silk. And you have Coulson and May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So these are like all the characters that are going to be in here. So technically Robbie Reyes is like a side character, and that's like the only issue I have with this series. It has very low rating on Goodreads, I think because of that fact, because it's a Ghost Rider comic, so you assume Ghost Rider is the main thing, but he's really just another side character in here, and it focuses a lot on just killing that monster and all the other characters. So there's like, that's my issue, but I enjoyed it still. It was interesting, and I will pick up new volumes or new series of Ghost Rider anyway, because I love Robbie Reyes. But yes, that's Ghost Rider. And the last comic I've read is Fence Volume 1. I love this so much. This is one of my new favorite comics. I am here for this. Like, I am so here for this. Okay. I found out about this from a girl on BookTube who has collected the single issues, and I was very interested in the premise, so I waited for the trade to come out as always. So I got it and I read it and I love it. Okay, this is my new favorite comic. Right, so how should I explain this? like he has all elements I like. So it's about this guy who is the son of a retired fencing champion. So his father was a fencer, and he gets accepted to a private school, and there is this guy. His name is Seiichi Katayama, Japanese. So you see where I'm going with this. And their rivalries, he's like the best of the best, and Nicholas isn't. Like, he's actually not that good. He has potential. That's why he got into that school, because they saw his potential, but he's not yet good enough to beat him. And they're just rivalry. And in that new school, it turns out these two are roommates. And that's all I'm gonna say. You can see where I'm going with this. So, also it's written by C.S. Pakat, who has written the Captive Prince trilogy. Is it a trilogy or a series? If you read novels, you might have heard of it. I have never read it, but I've heard of it. So, and the artist is Joanna the Mad. So, yes. I think the back can say it better than me. Nicholas, the illegitimate son of a retired fencing champion, is a scrappy fencing wunderkind and dreams of getting the chance and the training to actually compete. After getting accepted to the prodigious King's Row private school, Nicholas is thrust into a cutthroat world and finds himself facing not only his golden boy half-brother, but the unbeatable, mysterious Seiichi Katayama. Through clashes, rivalries, and romance between teammates, Nicholas and the boys of King's Row will discover there's much more to fencing than just foils and lunge. Romance between roommates. You see, it ticks all my boxes. It's sport, which I'm not interested in fencing. It's got a Japanese dude. And it's potentially, I have no clue yet, romantic between teammates. There's loads of characters in here though, so I don't know who and who. But I mean, you could guess. So yes, I love this so much. The next one is coming out in January, so I am so gonna buy it and read it right away. Yay! New favorite comic. Read it. Read it. Read it. And that's it. My reads. Recent reads. Right, that's it for this wrap up. I haven't been drinking tea. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you've read of these that I just showed. And I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye!